Hi, welcome to another video. So, a few days ago I made a video about Buzz, which is Block's new open source workspace, where humans and AI agents work together as actual teammates. I covered the whole setup, the identity system, and the starter agents in that video. So if you haven't seen it, it'll be linked below. Ever since that video went up, the most common question in the comments has been about models. How do you change the model? Can different agents run on different models? And most importantly, can you run this whole thing for free? So, in this video, I'll show you exactly how to configure different models and different agents in Buzz, how I have been using it with Kimi K3 as my main coding model. And then I'll show you two really good free API options that you can plug into your agents. One is through NVIDIA's Build platform, and the other one is through OpenRouter's free models. So, let's get right into it. But before we do that, let me tell you about today's sponsor, Junie, the AI coding agent by JetBrains. So, Junie just came out of beta, and it's now the #1 coding agent on SWE Rebench, which is an independent benchmark that draws fresh tasks every cycle so nobody can game it. In the latest run, Junie scored 61.6% resolved with a 72.7% pass at 5, putting it ahead of other agents and competitive with raw frontier models. That's pretty amazing, to be honest. The thing I like most is that it's fully LLM agnostic. You can use models from Anthropic, OpenAI, Google, and others, or bring your own key, or even point it at a local runtime like Ollama or LM Studio. So you can plan on a strong model and implement on a cheap one, which keeps your costs really low. It also has an advanced plan mode. You just hit Shift-Tab, and Junie writes a proper plan document with requirements, design, stages, and tests before touching any code. You review it, edit it, approve it, and then it implements. No more burning tokens on the wrong approach. And instead of spamming log statements when something breaks, Junie drives your IDE's actual debugger. It sets breakpoints, inspects runtime state, and finds the real issue. Plus, with remote control, you can start a long task from your terminal and check on it from your phone. So you don't have to babysit your agent. You can use Junie in your terminal with Junie CLI or inside any JetBrains IDE. Check it out through the link in the description below. Now, let's get back to the video. First, you need to understand how models actually work in Buzz because it's a bit different from other tools. Buzz doesn't host any models itself, and it doesn't bill you for anything. Instead, it connects to the agent harnesses that are already installed on your machine. So, Claude Code, Dex, or Block's own Goose framework, all connected through the agent client protocol. This means the model configuration has two layers. Buzz decides which harness and which model each agent uses, and the harness decides which provider actually serves that model. Once you understand this, everything else clicks into place because it means any provider that your harness can talk to, your Buzz agents can use too. That's the whole trick behind the free options I'll show you later. Now, let's start with the basics. When you first set up Buzz, there's a step called Default Model Settings. This is where you pick your default harness and the model that it should use. Whatever you pick here becomes the fallback for every agent that doesn't have its own configuration. If you skipped past this during onboarding, don't worry. You can change it anytime from the Agents page, where there's a Set Agent Defaults button. But the real power is in per-agent configuration. When you create a new agent or edit an existing one, you give it a name, write its instructions, and then pick its harness. And below that, there's an option to customize the model, just for this agent. So, one agent can run on one model through one harness, while another agent runs on a completely different model through a different harness, and they all sit in the same channel and coordinate with each other. This is where it gets really interesting, because you can now match models to jobs. Your coordinator agent doesn't need a frontier model. It's mostly routing work, so a small fast model is fine. Your coding agent is where you want the strongest model you can afford. And your research and writing agents can honestly run on free models, and you'd barely notice the difference. This is a really good option for sure. There's also the parallelism setting on each agent, which controls how many things it can work on at once. Keep this in mind, because if you put an agent on a free API with tight rate limits and then crank up its parallelism, you're going to hit those limits real quick. So keep parallelism at 1 for agents on free tiers and save the higher values for agents running on a subscription. Now, let me show you how I have actually been using this, because my setup right now is built around Kimi K3. If you missed the news, Moonshot released Kimi K3 in mid-July, and the weights just dropped a couple of days ago. It's around 2.8 trillion parameters, which makes it the largest open weight model ever released. It's natively multimodal. It has a 1 million token context window, and in most evaluations, it lands just behind the top Claude and GPT models. But on coding benchmarks specifically, it's right up there with the frontier models. So for a coding agent inside Buzz, it's a seriously strong pick. And here's the thing. Kimi's API is Anthropic-compatible, which means Claude Code can talk to it directly. And since Buzz runs its agents through your local Claude Code installation, your Buzz agents can run on Kimi K3 without Buzz even knowing the difference. The setup is pretty simple. First, get an API key from the Kimi platform. Then you need to set a few environment variables for Claude Code. You set the Anthropic base URL variable to api.moonshot.ai/Anthropic. You set the Anthropic auth token variable to your Moonshot API key. And note that it's the auth token variable, not the API key variable. People mix these up and then wonder why they're getting 401 errors. Then you set the Anthropic model variable to Kimi K3. And it's a good idea to also point the Sonnet, Opus, and Haiku default model variables, plus the subagent model variable at Kimi K3, so that everything Claude Code spawns uses the same model. You'll also want to bump the auto-compact window up to around 1 million tokens to actually use K3's full context and turn the tool search feature off, because that doesn't work properly on Kimi's endpoint. You can export these in your terminal to test, but the better way is to put them in the env section of your settings file in the .claude folder, so they persist. Once that's done, open Claude Code, run the /status command, and you should see the Moonshot base URL and the Kimi K3 model, and that's it. Every Buzz agent that uses the Claude Code harness is now running on Kimi K3. Quick note on pricing, because I know you'll ask. On the pay per token API, K3 is about 30 cents per million tokens on cache hits, $3 per million on cache misses, and $15 per million for output, and K3 always runs at full reasoning effort. So it thinks hard on every single request. It's not the cheapest thing in the world, but for what you get, it's honestly fair. There's also a separate coding subscription from Kimi with its own endpoint and its own auth setup, and the two are not compatible with each other, so pick one and stick with it. So my actual team right now looks like this. My main coding agent runs on the Claude Code harness with Kimi K3 behind it. That's the one I mention in my feature branch channels. And with the 1 million token context, it can hold basically the entire repo plus the whole channel discussion in its head. Then I have a reviewer agent that runs on my regular Claude subscription because I like having a second model double-check the code that K3 writes. Two different models reviewing each other catches way more issues than one model talking to itself. And then my research and writing agents run on free models, which is what we're going to talk about now. So let's come to the free stuff, because I know most of you are here for this part. The first option is NVIDIA's Build platform. If you go to build.nvidia.com and filter for the preview models, you'll see there are over 100 models that you can call through their API for free. You just create a free NVIDIA account, no credit card needed, generate an API key, and you're good to go. The key starts with NVAPI, and the endpoint is integrate.api.nvidia.com/v1, which is fully OpenAI-compatible. And the model selection here is honestly ridiculous for something free. You get the Kimi K2.6 model, GLM 5.2, with a 1 million token context, the DeepSeek V4 models, the whole Nemotron 3 family, including the Giant Ultra model, Gemma 4, Qwen models, plus embedding models and coding models, all on one API key. The catch is the rate limit. You get around 40 requests per minute, and it's shared infrastructure, so think of it as a goodwill allocation rather than a guaranteed service. NVIDIA is basically paying for you to try their inference stack for background agents and personal usage, though it works well. Now, how do you get this into Buzz? This is where the Goose harness comes in. Goose supports custom OpenAI-compatible providers, so you configure a provider in Goose with the NVIDIA base URL and your NVAPE key. Pick the model you want, and then in Buzz, you create an agent that uses the Goose harness. Done. That agent is now running on NVIDIA's infrastructure for free. My research agent runs exactly like this on GLM 5.2, and with that 1 million token context, it can chew through huge amounts of material without breaking a sweat. The second free option is OpenRouter's free models. If you open the model picker on OpenRouter and just search for free, you'll see everything with the free suffix. There are around 18 free models right now, and the lineup is actually good. The headline one is Nemotron 3 Ultra, which is a 550 billion parameter model with a 1 million token context window, completely free, which is just amazing. There's also Nemotron 3 Super and the Nano models, Gemma 431B, OpenAI's GPT OSAS 20B, and Ling 3.0 Flash. And for coding specifically, there are Poolside's Laguna S 2.1 and Laguna XS 2.1 models, plus Cohere's North Mini Code. So you even have dedicated code models on the free tier now, which is quite great to see. The limits are about 20 requests per minute and around 200 requests per day on the free tier. That's not a lot for a chatty agent, but for a writing agent that gets mentioned a few times a day, it's plenty. Wiring it into Buzz is the same story. Goose has OpenRouter support built in, so you just add your OpenRouter API key as a provider in Goose, select one of the free models, and then create a Buzz agent on the Goose harness. My writing agent runs on Nemotron 3, ultra free through OpenRouter, And honestly, for summarizing threads and drafting docs, I can't tell the difference from a paid model. So, to put the whole picture together, one workspace, a coding agent on Kimi K3 through Claude Code, a reviewer on my Claude subscription, a researcher on GLM 5.2 through NVIDIA's free API, and a writer on Nemotron 3 Ultra through OpenRouter's free tier. 4 agents, 4 different models, 3 different providers, all sitting in the same channels, all coordinating with each other, and the only real cost is the Kimi usage. If you told me a year ago that this would be possible in a free open source app, I wouldn't have believed you. So, what's my honest take? The per-agent model configuration is, in my opinion, the most underrated feature in Buzz. Everyone talks about the identity system and the Noster stuff, but the fact that you can mix harnesses and providers per agent is what actually makes this practical. You're not locked into one vendor's pricing, and you can put expensive intelligence exactly where it matters and free intelligence everywhere else. That said, keep your expectations in check with the free tiers. They're shared infrastructure with no guarantees. The rate limits are real, and both NVIDIA and OpenRouter can change the terms whenever they want. So don't build your company on them. Use them for the agents where a slow or failed request doesn't hurt, and take the whole thing with a grain of salt. But overall, running a multi-model AI team where half the team costs literally nothing, that's pretty amazing, to be honest. Overall, it's pretty cool. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you liked this video, consider donating through the Super Thanks option or becoming a member by clicking the Join button. Also, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, bye.